Governor, I literally had a guy stop me outside my office studios in the Empire State Building in Midtown Manhattan yesterday, and he said, would you please ask these candidates about this disastrous Iranian nuclear deal? I know you've weighed in on it, but can you speak to what many of us are feeling, in terms of this sense of dread, and why Republican senators who spoke vociferously against giving Iran the opportunity to get nukes would in the end voted for it?
I think that the Senate will have a chance to get to a 67 vote number, and I hope they do. I hope that they get to an override number so that there's a clear and compelling signal from the voice of the people or elected officials that this is the wrong approach. Unfortunately, the way this is structured, the United Nations will propose lifting sanctions before Congress even acts.
Right.
And freeing up fresh capital for the mullahs and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard will be an unmitigated disaster. Can you imagine with $100 to $150 billion of new cash, what they'll do to undermine the region, what they'll do to repress their own people, what they'll do to advance, put aside nuclear weapons. What about conventional weapons? Those sanctions are going to be lifted as well. To isolate this to one part of the danger that Iran brings and ignore their largest state support of terrorism, to ignore the buildup of a ballistic launch capability, to ignore the threat that they have in the region, is quite dangerous. It's as though the president believes that mullahs just go quietly into the night in order to, once they get their deal done, okay, I guess we've been wrong. The next president will have to build up support internationally again for doing the right thing.
Right.
It's clear to me that if we're in January of 27, you're going to have a completely different situation as it relates to the sanctions regime in place. You're going to have we're going to have to rebuild coalitions. We're going to have to work with our allies. We're going to have to do something that this president has destroyed, which is confidence the United States will stay engaged in the region. No one in the region believes the United States is as serious as they once were. We'll have to restore relationships with Israel and the Persian Gulf countries. There's a lot of work that will have to be done, but I don't believe in January 2017 you're going to have an Iran that is peaceful, that is complying with this agreement. And so over time, we're going to have to show our leadership again.